age make cakes limited only by their imagination.
We wanted to take you guys to a wonderland.
This is really good.
And joining the party this week in my bakery is Artie Sequeira.
I'm impressed.
It has to be bold, and they have to be done before the sun comes up.
5 minutes!
I want coffee.
Tonight, we have two of the world's finest cake decorators ever. Now let's introduce our judges. First, a great friend of mine and an amazing cake decorator, Elena Fox. Helping Elena out tonight is cookbook author, the host of Artie Party on Food Network, and my wife in another life, Artie Sequeira.
I brought along some homies to witness the cake chaos for themselves.
All right, guys, let's get to the rules. You have until dawn to completely build and decorate your cake. Dawn is at 6:18 a.m. You have 7 hours and 18 minutes. You can use anything inside Charm City Cakes West. And the most important rule, the cakes must be awesome. Tonight, you guys will be judged on theme interpretation, design, and taste. And the winner gets the most coveted prize in pastry today, the Golden Whisk.
It's super important to win the Whisk.
It's a golden whisk.
Like, what do you think we came here for?
Tonight, we're getting mythical in this place. The theme is fairies and goblins. On your marks, get set, make some magic.
You gotta have a goblin and a fairy. I'm Sarah Myers. I own High Five Cakes in Waverly, Ohio.
I'm Timbo Sullivan. I own Cakes by Timbo in Columbus, Ohio.
Competing against some of the best decorators in the industry. We're the newbies, and we're here to prove that we totally belong. Our goblin will be an evil, goblin-y snail. We'll have like 4. Yeah. Both of us specialize in quirky, weird, gory cakes. I specialize in airbrushing and sculpting.
I think my claim to fame is my sci-fi fantasy faces.
These will be covered in fondant. Maybe put some spots on it to give it that Wonderland theme. We decided to make a giant toadstool with our beautiful fairy perched on top. The toadstool would be constructed of foam, covered in fondant.
Okay, cool.
Let's rock it.
The fairy is going to be huge. My name is Natalie Sidesurf, and I'm the owner of Sidesurf Cake Studio in Austin, Texas. One of my very first sculpted cakes won a cake competition. I usually do hyper-realistic sculpted cakes, and I do a lot of humans. I think that that's kind of the thing that makes me stand out. She's not like beautiful, skinny fairy.
No.
She's like plump.
My name is Julia. I met Natalie about 4 years ago at the bakery. We just connected as artists, and our personalities get along perfectly.
The goblin is more of like this like...
Her little like pet.
Okay, she's out of cake entirely. Yeah. The first thing that came to mind was a pretty fairy. We wanted to go with something with a little bit more character in the face, so we decided to make her a little bit older.
Kind of like a retired fairy. She's kind of weird, and she had control over this goblin, like a dog.
We had our hearts set on cake design out of cake as much as possible. Let's do it.
Right now, I'm working on the face. I start with the rice cereal treats and basically make a skull shape. And then I will do the detailing with modeling chocolate and cover in fondant and do the finishing touches at the end.
That smells so good.
It really does.
Artie, what would you make?
I'm thinking some sort of magical forest with fairies in the trees and goblins on the ground.
I think gnomes, goblins, trolls, they all count.
I get
right?
There are a lot of people that are going to have a problem with you saying that. You can't generalize them like that. I'm just saving you from a lot of like nerdly emails.
In this shop, goblins, trolls, gnomes, and other ugly creatures all count.
If you're short and ugly, you qualify.
I'm on the cake.
Dang it. Is that it? Okay. For her torso to stand up, we need a structure from her bottom to the top of her head. cake doesn't want to stay up. It wants to fall down and slide around. So you really have to consider how you're building a structure to hold it up. I started stacking the cakes.
What do you guys make?
This is the fairy.
And the fairy is larger than the goblin.
Oh, I love that.
That's a cool concept because everyone just thinks of fairies as like little tiny.
Yeah.
You guys were 1 hour in.
Inside this cake is caramelized pineapple, pecans, maraschino cherries, all baked with brown sugar and butter. Yummy gooiness. I hope it tastes like home, like comfort food. It's not the typical cake.
Looking good, Sarah.
You think?
I'm impressed.
Because the fondant was looking real rough. I'm like, it's okay.
That's like the fun thing about making it organic.
Yeah.
Right now we are doing the body of the fairy. I usually only do scary cakes, bloody cakes, things like that, so this is very new for me. It's very nervous.
Did you just say you're very nervous?
No, not nervous at all.
We ain't got time for that kind of talk. None of that.
I started working on the fairy. We wanted her body to be all cake. I just think it makes it more impressive and more interesting than Rice Krispies or Styrofoam. If it blows up in our faces because of a time factor, then that's just what happens.
I started working on the curled up dog to get the structure for the goblin. Doglin.
I always want to be ahead of where we are right now.
This doesn't.
Oh my gosh, I didn't. And then I realized the body of the fairy had no arm, and I thought we were not gonna have a cake. I just completely forgot about the arm. And I'm thinking about the torso only. Like, I was gonna have this section of the arm and the shoulder as cake, but now I'm just gonna make it modeling chocolate. Feeling a little stressed on time right now.
I'm getting ready to cover the top portion of the fairy now. I'm going to use this to dress her back.
Timbo, time goes really fast. You gotta move. All right,
I'll be quick.
I don't want to see you run out of time.
I won't.
It's like the tortoise and the hare.
Right.
Slow and steady wins the race.
They think I'm running out of time, but I know I'm not. I always work like this.
We're about 2 hours in, and Timbo is chugging along. It doesn't look like he's moving very quickly. Natalie has been very slowly and steadily carving a cake. I'm kind of freaking out because 7 hours goes by quick.
This is going to be the goblin's head. His head and his legs are all going to be crispy treats. And then I'll cover it with buttercream and fondant.
We decided to do a giant toadstool covered in fondant for structural support so we could perch a fairy on top of it.
Now this is her torso, and then this will go into her legs. I definitely had to put a lot of time into the carving of the cake. You want the proportions to look proper.
I did a chocolate Italian cream cake with Texas pecans and a milk chocolate mousse.
All right, I need the head.
This will be the goblin, which is actually going to be in the form of a snail. So I'm going to carve it down first, and then I'm going to make an indentation with a knife or a piping bag to figure out where I want the swirls of the snail shell.
Are you gonna airbrush that too?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go natural snail shell with black in the crevices to give it kind of a dark appeal.
So I'm gonna make the head with a styrofoam base, and then I put modeling chocolate mixed with fondant on the outside.
Natalie, can I see that real quick? Just.
Oh my God!
Oh, it's creepy.
That's awesome.
Natalie Sidesurf is one of the most incredible facial sculptors in this world. So yeah, I feel like the underdog.
So you're making the snail into the goblin?
What is a goblin?
Is this a little evil creature?
Okay, well this is a little evil creature.
Goblins usually have 2 feet.
Something that's not real can't usually have anything.
He's so wise.
The body of the snail will be modeling chocolate and fondant, giving it that creepy appeal. Totally scary.
Who's hungry? Hey, I got pizza.
Yes!
I will eat all this pizza.
I'm coming.
This is good pizza.
It's really good.
All right, you guys, we are halfway through the competition. Are you where you need to be?
Yes, we are.
Naturally, I work slow, so it kind of stressed me out a little bit.
Natalie?
Yeah, I know it's surprising, but I feel good about it.
All right, it's halfway through. Here's what I see. Here's this awesome snail. I love this snail. It looks really good. The snail's amazing. Thanks. What's going on over here?
Making a lady.
You've been icing for a long time.
Your icing's so different than what I'm used to. It's hard.
Well, then you should have brought your icing. You know that everybody makes different kinds of icing.
I know.
Why is it my fault?
This is your area of expertise. How crazy a time limit is it to have this done by dawn?
It's like a pretty crazy time limit because once it gets like super late, the detail can suffer if you haven't started it soon enough. So it's a pretty tough challenge. I don't want to do it.
I'm gonna finish the snake, put the face on, paint the face, and do the hair and all that.
Timbo,
What?
this is really good.
Well, that's why I was taking my time, man.
I want you to completely ignore everything that comes out of my mouth and keep doing what you're doing.
All right. He boosted my confidence. It felt real good.
I'm thinking that like these cakes need one other added dimension. So what you're also gonna make is some kind of like hideaway. Jesus. Okay?
Just as we started to get into the flow of stuff, decided to add the twist and really threw us off. We are behind.
I need your help.
You have 2 hours left.
First time throughout the whole competition that my heart dropped.
Hurry up and get her done.
I'm thinking that these cakes need some kind of hideaway.
When we were presented with the twist, I was like, this is crazy.
You have 2 hours left.
We're making a burrow, Timbo.
Making a burrow? Okay, that burrow's great.
Right now, I'd like to find a burrow and hide in it.
We are behind.
I started feeling the pressure when the hideaway came in. That just totally throws your time frame off for what you've planned.
We're gonna have to think about it because we have to keep going or we're never gonna get it finished.
We rolled with the twist, grabbed some cereal treat, and made a burrow real quick. We covered it pretty well with buttercream and called it good. How much more time you got on her?
I'm done when I do the hair.
And then we'll get her on there. I'm ready to celebrate that we did this.
I'm tired.
Let's just work on her real quick. You have the basic shape of the cake, and then it takes a really long time to figure out what we were gonna do as far as the twist.
What do you want me to work on?
Well, she doesn't have feet, so let's like cut it down and do buttercream up it so it's like in water or something. Then we thought, well, what if waves are washing up on her and her feet are just under the waves?
It's like a beach hideaway. She lives in the water. She's a water fairy.
Yeah. She's gonna retire on the beach now.
Timber, you need to get her on the mushroom. We wanted to perch the fairy on top of the toadstool.
I can't work when she's on the mushroom. We're gonna have to do that like last minute.
We got to make sure that she lines up or we're screwed. We need to get her on.
I don't think we screwed at all though.
What are you guys worried about?
Natalie and Julia
Yeah.
keep getting caught up in these little details. They look awesome, but like Timbo and Sarah, it just seems like they have a lot of components that are sort of halfway there.
I gotta tell you, man, Sarah's talented. The snail's great.
Yeah, her paint job on the shell is really good.
Artie, what do you think?
I'm impressed, actually.
Yeah.
There's full-on art in
Yeah.
there. I think it'll be super interesting to see how Timbo's fairy and Sarah's goblin come together in one piece because their styles are so different.
Her hair looks great. How about giving her ears and wings and then go back to it? Mm-hmm. Wings, Timbo. Wings.
Listen, if we don't do wings, I'm still not gonna be tripping.
It'll give it dimension.
Maleficent don't have wings.
I think that you should put the wings on.
I know. Timbo, I'll be so upset if we don't get the wings on her.
I didn't think wings was a priority because we don't have time.
Am I doing something wrong here?
Pretty dirty.
Timbo and Sarah did a lot of airbrush work on their cake. By the time I had the chance to get to the airbrush, it was completely clogged.
You got 1 hour left.
Final
It's just stuck.
It's clogged again?
Yeah, none of them were working. It was like really stressful. All I wanted to do was get started on the airbrushing. I had to ask Duff to help us.
There you go. Look,
All right,
It's
now.
working now? Okay.
I'm a redneck. I can fix stuff.
We just need her to be not white.
30 minutes! You have 30 minutes, guys!
You ready to move her? See, I told you she wouldn't sit flat. She looks whack on there. Cardboard showing is like kindergarten. That's like preschool stuff.
Everything can be covered up with flowers.
But if we take the purple and like run it over, then her dress is overlapping the mushroom.
We don't have enough time to make that color again.
I can see a lot of cardboard there. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I hate seeing cardboard. If I see that cardboard, I'm gonna yell and holler. 1 minute!
Do you think there's anything we can do to this?
Like, we could get flowers. We were kind of all over the place trying to get all the elements finished.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop!
We worked until the very last minute, last second, which was kind of crazy. It would definitely mean a lot if we won the Golden Whisk. It's done.
Feet hurt, my head hurt, my hands hurt, my back hurt. But cake decorating is our sport, and the Golden Whisk is the trophy.
Right.
We want the trophy.
Unbelievable jobs. The amount of work you guys did in 7 hours is psychotic. Sarah, tell me about your cake.
Well, we wanted to take you guys to a wonderland. We've got this goblin in the form of a snail for the hideaway. I decided to make a burrow. We've got our bad fairy here who's lost her wings.
What'd she do?
She was drinking. She lost her wings and her license.
And her license. She's beautiful. Her hands with the snake, it's so expressive.
The detail on her face is absolutely amazing.
This snail, holy cow, it's an awesome snail.
This is pineapple inside out cake. Instead of filling, we have caramelized pineapple, maraschino cherries, pecans with a sponge cake.
I love the caramelized pineapple, it's really good. One little tiny thing, she's got these beautiful blue sparkly lips. It's the only thing on her that's shiny and sparkly. If you had taken the time to like put some more color on those flowers, I think it really would have popped out. All in all though, guys, unbelievable job.
Judging was intense because someone's like judging your work. You're standing there and taking it.
Natalie, tell me about your cake.
We were going for something that was a little bit weird. We decided to go with like an older fairy who has this like goblin puppy dog kind of thing. And we made our portal as if she was going into the water. This is what I want to do when I retire.
I'm really impressed. It's a very bold statement. You've created depth in your cake. Your cake extends below the level of the table. It's very smart.
It's so vivid. I just love that sort of idea of nailing the contrast. Good and evil, light and dark, fairy, goblin.
All that said, there's a lot of like fondant seams that, especially if it's airbrushed, you can see them more.
Tell me about this delicious looking thing that we're about to eat.
The flavors are chocolate Italian cream cake with toasted Texas pecans. It's got the milk chocolate mousse and the whiskey caramel sauce.
Wow. It's just like a candy bar. It's really good.
Yes.
A little more whiskey now.
I gotta tell you, delicious cake, creepy as hell. Great job.
I thought that the judges, their critique was really great. We're proud of how we executed it. That's what we wanted to do because we're like, let's make something just really weird and memorable.
Now, take some cake. We got a lot of people here who look really hungry. We're gonna talk about your cakes. This is tight.
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
I think for overall presentation, Timbo and Sarah, there's so much going on. This is what I know from books, from stories, from childhood. Flavor-wise, I think I gotta go with Natalie and
I
Julie.
like never ever want to eat cake anymore, and I cannot stop eating that cake.
That's a huge endorsement right there.
Right, who do you got?
I really have to go with Sarah and Timbo's. It's just so well done with the movement and like all the little creatures. The fairy is amazing.
I have to give it to Natalie and Julia. I love the detail on the hands and the face. It's just the kind of cake that I don't think I'll ever forget. And Duff, this fairy has wings.
That is a
That
good
is a
point.
good point.
I got the tiebreaker.
It's all you.
All right, let's get him back here. All right, guys, come on back. We got a winner. You guys, 2 amazing cakes. If either one of these cakes came out of my bakery, I'd be proud to sell. The winner is Timbo and Sarah. Great job, you guys.
We feel disappointed that we lost, but
They did a really good job, and we're happy with what we did.
we want a rematch though.
Great job.
We came here to win the Golden Whisk, and we won the Golden Whisk.
All right, now everybody, get out of my bakery because I got to clean up and I got to open in about 3 hours. Good night.